On Sunday, the Bengals beat Kansas City 34-31. And oh my goodness, I am so happy for the Bengals, their fans, the city of Cincinnati. I've said for a long time, if I ever, I think, lived permanently, because I live in Hawaii, right? I'm not really, the lower 48 are kind of weird and removed from them. But if I ever did live permanently somewhere in the lower 48, it would either be in the Olympic Peninsula, somewhere in Washington, or the city of Cincinnati. I really, really love Cincinnati. And this was a massive win. They're now 10-6. They have clinched the AFC North division title. And the best thing about it is that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were the two stars of this game and of this moment for Cincinnati. And I'm not going to lie, man. I believed in Joe Burrow and I believed in Jamar Chase individually as players. I knew they were going to be great NFL players, but I did not believe that they were going to be able to win in Cincinnati. And I've just, the entire journey to get to this moment where the Bengals have won the AFC North, I really wasn't a believer. I remember saying that Joe Burrow should avoid going to Cincinnati because I didn't think he could overcome what I believed was a dysfunctional organization. I didn't think Joe Burrow could turn them around. I remember feeling like, Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. I still, to this day, I remember people talking about Trevor Lawrence, how Trevor Lawrence is a generational quarterback and the best quarterback we've seen since Andrew Luck. And I don't think Trevor Lawrence is better than Joe Burrow was coming out of college. Did people somehow forget what Joe Burrow did against the SEC level defenses? It was unbelievable. But I thought that, he was drafted by an organization that was going to pull him down. And it's been exactly the opposite. Joe Burrow has elevated his organization. And Justin Herbert, who was drafted number 6 overall in the same draft class, gets a ton of love. Justin Herbert this, Justin Herbert that, and film people love him. And look, Justin Herbert is amazing. But let's acknowledge something. Justin Herbert went to a better football team and had a lot of help along the way. Didn't have to build something. He kind of walked into a great organization, great situation roster-wise, got a great offensive line. Herbert's got a better offensive line, 2 amazing receivers, I think a good head coach. Joe Burrow had to build it. Joe Burrow went to the worst team in the NFL that had the number 1 overall pick. And he gets hit a ton. Go watch Joe Burrow play football. The dude is running for his life at times. And yet he still has found a way to win. He made the playoffs, won a division title. It's amazing. They won the AFC North in his second year in the NFL. It's so cool to me. And I also remember when Cincinnati drafted Jamar Chase at receiver, number 5 overall, earlier in 2021. And I didn't like the pick. I knew Jamar Chase would be a star. I remember in my video, whenever I talked about him getting drafted, I'm like, look, he's going to score a lot of touchdowns. He's going to be fun to watch. I knew that. But the thing I did not believe was that he was going to help them win more football games. I thought that Jamar Chase was going to be fun and flashy, but they really needed an offensive lineman. And I would still argue, yeah, they do need to still build their offensive line. Well, let's be clear about one thing, though. Jamar Chase has absolutely helped the Bengals win football games, especially Sunday against Kansas City in Cincinnati. I remember there was a moment in this game where the Bengals were down and losing, and Casey was kind of getting away with the game, and Jamar Chase makes this crazy play. It was like a 72-yard touchdown. He catches like a 5-yard slant or hits or something, makes people miss, runs for a long touchdown, a bunch of yards after the catch, and it really sparked Cincinnati. And in this game, he had 11 catches for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. And all year, Jamar Chase has elevated his team and made a difference and helped his football team win games. Let's be clear. He was the right pick. I was wrong. I am so glad I was wrong. I remember being like, they should have got Penei Sewell. Idiots. Why would they draft a receiver? Receivers don't help you win games. I've been proven wrong so many times. And I love it, man. And I got to acknowledge it. And I truly enjoy being wrong because the Bengals are so much fun to watch. And there's some YouTube commenter out there. I forget his name. I don't really care. He was like, I can't wait to watch Zach Schomler be disappointed when Kansas City beats the Bengals. No, it was an awesome moment. Cincinnati won. And I really love what Joe Burrow has done elevating the Bengals. And beating Kansas City was the culmination of So many good moves made by Cincinnati. It's not just Jamar Chase. It's not just drafting Joe Burrow. It's bringing in Larry Ogunjobi from Cleveland, Trey Hendrickson from New Orleans, B.J. Hill from the Giants. KC put up 28 points in the first half of this football game and only 3 points in the second half. That defense stepped up. They're great coverage in the second half, getting pressure with their front four, a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And then look, man, Joey B made throw after throw after throw. He was dealing. That dude looks like a Hall of Fame quarterback already. And it's kind of funny, actually. You know, the Ravens defensive coordinator, like last week, said, well, let's not put him in the Hall of Fame just yet. And yeah, it's a year two. That's a bit ridiculous. Who knows how his career is going to play out. But, I'm telling you, I am not overhyping Joe Burrow. In fact, if anything, I am somehow underselling Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was 30 for 39 passing against a really good Kansas City defense. KC's defense has really come alive in the second half of the year, and Joe Burrow shredded them. 446 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and the guy got hit a ton. He's the most sacked quarterback in the entire NFL. The offensive line, they still need work. Joe got his nameplate ripped off of the back of his jersey. He was getting hit so much. He probably ripped him off. It's like, I'm sure he ripped the rest of it off himself. But I remember watching it slowly peel off his jersey going like, that thing's like barely hanging on. And in spite of the fact that the offensive line is struggling, in spite of the fact that he's having to really, how many times have you watched, if you watch Joe Burrow at all, he's avoiding sacks, he's making people miss, he's turning what should be losses into big throws downfield or running for yardage. And in spite of all the pressure in his face, he's won 10 games this year. He's thrown for 4,611 yards. And remember, Joe Burrow's coming off of a knee injury, like a catastrophic knee injury last year. And he's not the kind of athlete that Justin Herbert or Russ Wilson or Kyler Murray is. He's a pocket passer he's got some ability, but he's not a running quarterback like at all. And yet he's handling pressure in his face constantly. And I just don't know that a lot of quarterbacks could do what Joe Burrow has done. Tom Brady, I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady's Achilles heel is if you get pressure with a 4-man rush, it's over. Joe Burrow is getting constant pressure that way, and still, despite the matchups being wrong and the numbers, and he should be not able to succeed, he still is. It's unbelievable. And Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow look exactly like they did in college at LSU. Back shoulder fades, pinpoint accuracy, just play after play after play, beating man coverage. Like, hey, I'm sorry. Joe Burrow was looking more and more like an Aaron Rodgers type of quarterback where you just cannot play man coverage against Joe Burrow because he doesn't really care. If you can be in position, he's like, you can't beat a perfect throw. And I will throw a perfect throw. He had a back shoulder fade to, I believe it was Jamar Chase, but it could have been T. Higgins. I feel like he's just hitting throw after throw down the sideline all over the field. And, he had a deep ball to T. Higgins. He had a touchdown to Tyler Boyd. It was so awesome to watch what Cincinnati and Joe Burrow did on Sunday. And I will say KC was down 2 left tackles. They did not have Orlando Brown in this game, and then they lost Lucas Niang, who was their starting left tackle for this game. I thought that caught up to them in the second half, and they gave up a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. But the overarching story here is that it was a really, really cool moment for Cincinnati and a massive win, well-deserved, and the Bengals are the AFC North Division champions. And man, like 2 years ago, they had the number 1 overall pick, and now look where they are today. I did not see it coming. I'm overjoyed. I've never been so happy to be wrong in my entire life. And I'm pretty convinced that at this point, Joe Burrow can do anything he wants to. I'm enamored. I love the kid. He's amazing. I like his swagger. I think that confidence really helps him too. Like the team buys in and, Joe Burrow, I think gets criticized. I think maybe not yet. So Aaron Rodgers gets criticized for being, there's that fine line between confidence and cocky, and Aaron really walks it very finely. But let's be honest, if you're going to turn around a terrible organization like Cincinnati, which they were when they drafted him, let's be clear, you kind of have to be a little bit arrogant. Because where does confidence stop and arrogance begin? you really have to believe in yourself to say, I can walk into Cincinnati with the number 1 overall pick and in year 2 win the division, turn that football team around, win 10 games. So I really love the swagger, the confidence, and the poise Joe Burrow shows. And it's amazing, man. It really, what they've done in Cincinnati, what he's done in Cincinnati, turning that organization around. And he's had help, and they've made some really good moves as well. But I'm just in awe and blown away and very, very excited for the Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, it's awesome. It's a blast. And I'm really, really glad they got the AFC North division title. Well done, Cincinnati.